وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمُ اسْجُدُوا لِلرَّحْمَنِ قالوا وما الرحمن أنسجد لما تأمرنا وزادهم نفورا.
Y cuando se les dice, postraos ante el misericordioso, dicen, ¿y quién es el misericordioso? ¿Es que vamos a postrarnos ante quien nos mandéis? Y se alejan aún más.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ranga and I am a non-Muslim. In the Quran it has been said, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. That means the God the most merciful and the most beneficent. And the God being most merciful, why does He punish the people, for example like me, for the sake that he is not believing in Allah? That is, he is not worshipping Him. Is it that much cruel? What I am asking to say is, for example, I am doing everything good to the world, to my people, to the entire society, but I have not worshipped Allah. Either I do not know or I deny Him. For the single reason, does He punish the person for not worshipping Him and He pushes him into the hell? Is He so cruel? I mean, you say that He is most merciful. Being most merciful, for the only sake he is not believing Allah, why does He punish him? Sorry for asking such questions, but I have this doubt for a long time.
Sure, it's quite a reasonable question. You know, it goes back to how we weigh things. See, you and I, when we weigh things in this world, we say, the person who does good, you know, to me and to other people, this is a person who has done great good. So why should the small thing of not worshipping God have such grave consequences? This is basically what you're saying, right, isn't it? And I said that's because we're judging things from our perspective. However, if we look at things from God's perspective, where the very purpose that He created us for is to worship Him, then that is the big thing. That is the huge, the vast thing, where if a person does all the good, but ignores the greater responsibility of worshiping God, then they have missed the most important aspect of their lives. Now, if it is due to the fact that a person had no knowledge, like we have two categories of people. One who rejects, meaning they know the truth and they say, well, I don't want to do that. I can't be bothered, it's too much trouble. Praying 5 times a day is too much. Whatever. That's one category of people. The other category of people are those who were born by God's destiny in a circumstance where they didn't know the truth. They didn't know what worshiping God entails and what they should do. For such a person, God does not punish them without them getting an opportunity to choose to worship Him. Because He says in the Quran, وَمَا كُنَّا مُعَذِّبِينَ حَتَّى نَبْعَثَ رَسُولًا. I would not punish anyone until a messenger has come to them. So for those people who were born deaf, dumb and blind, they couldn't hear the message. They were retarded. They couldn't understand the message. They died as children. They couldn't comprehend the message. They never heard the message because they were living in some corner of the world where the message didn't reach. Then for those people, prior to the final resurrection and judgment, they will be brought back and God will send to them a messenger from Himself and give them the choice to accept Him and worship Him or not. So nobody is going to hell unfairly. Those who have received the message, who know what the truth is, and choose otherwise. Now these are the people who have rejected God. Rejected God's command, and they have decided for themselves, I'm just going to do good. Right? Those are the people who then would suffer such a punishment. Because ultimately, to be honest, people who don't believe in God only do good as long as it's beneficial to themselves. You know? They will do good, a lot of good. But when the time comes that doing good is no longer beneficial, it is going to be harmful, then you find that they will go along with everybody else and do bad. That is the nature of human beings. Good is what is good for us. That is our nature. So by believing in God, we are able to rise above that to what is good because God said it is good. So even when it is not beneficial, this is what God speaks about in the Quran, that we should be just, even if it is against ourselves and our own families. So God is most merciful, but He's also most just. Because if you're going to try to use the example of Him being most merciful and say, well, since He's most merciful, then even the person who rejects Him, He should still reward him. What about the person like Hitler, who massacred many people? Pol Pot, who massacred millions. Other evil individuals in your society here who mass murderers and things like this. God is most merciful. Should they get reward also? No. Justice. Because mercy is tempered by justice. Because if mercy means injustice, then that is not what God is. God is most merciful and He's most just.
وعباد الرحمن الذين يمشون على الأرض هونا وإذا خاطبهم الجاهلون قالوا سلاما.
Los siervos del Misericordioso son aquellos que caminan por la tierra humildemente y que cuando los ignorantes les dirigen la palabra dicen paz.